Welcome to 5 Minutes VHDL Podcast, the podcast where we talk about VHDL and hardware design. Okay, in this episode I want to introduce formally a process. We talk about process in the previous episode, but we didn't formally introduce the process. So, what is a process? Process is a concurrent statement. Two processes are concurrent and are declared in the concurrent section of the architecture. But inside the VHDL code of the process is sequential. What mean sequential? It is something like the normal software approach. I mean, each line is executed sequentially. So let's see how to declare a process in VHDL. If you go on the Telegram channel, you will see a slide. This slide is taken from my course on syntax, on VHDL syntax, and it is summarized what is the syntax of a process statement. The process can be labeled using a process label, comma, process keyword, and sensitivity list. We will see that a process can have a sensitivity list or a wait statement. By now, in this case, we have a sensitivity list. The sensitivity list contains the signals that will cause the execution of the process statement. I mean that when an event occurs in the signals in the sensitivity list, the process is invoked by the simulator. Then we have the declarative part, where we can declare variable types, not signals, because the signal is a concurrent object. We can declare type, subtype, function, and then the sequential statement inside the begin and end process. And the process is closed with the keyword end process and the process label. In the Telegram channel, we can see a simple example where we have the two port AND and port OR, and inside the process AND OR, where we have A, B, D, and E that are the input on the process. Each time an event occurs on A, B, D, and E, the process is invoked and the output is updated. What we can add with the process? It is declared in the concurrent section of the architecture, and the process is executed in zero time. The simulation time is zero. I mean, the simulator goes inside the process, evaluate, and after the evaluation, the simulation time is frozen, and then goes on. All the processes starts when the simulation starts. In this moment, we are talking about a simulation. Then we will see that a process will be interpreted by a layout tool, for example, and will be transformed into hardware. But in this case, when we talk about zero time or the process are executed when the simulation starts, we are talking about simulation. All the processes are always active, and they are invoked every time an event occurs on sensitivity list, or when we will talk about the wait statement, when an event occurs in the wait statement. In the next episode, we will talk about the wait statement. A typical example of a process is a flip-flop. If you want to implement a flip-flop in VHDL, a typical and canonical example is a clocked process. If you go to the Telegram channel, you can see a typical template for a single, in this case, a single bit flip-flop. Let's see how to write a flip-flop in VHDL. We have the input clock, input reset, input data, and the output Q. The process is labeled as a process FF single, keyword process. In the sensitivity list we have the clock and reset. We can add the data D, but is not mandatory because the process shall be invoked when there is an event on the clock, not on the data, because the output is updated only when, in this case, the rising edge of clock event occurs. So it is very simple. There is an asynchronous reset because the reset is the first condition that occurs on the process. When the reset is equal to 0, the output in this case is 0, but you can reset to 1. The other condition is else if on the rising edge of the clock the output Q takes the value of the input D. In this case I'm using the function the library function rising edge. I prefer to use a rising edge because it's a library function is simpler to understand. If you want to use a falling edge flip-flop, you can use instead of rising edge the function falling edge, and inside the parentheses the clock. You can download this simple code from the Telegram channel, and this is an introduction of process. We will see how to use process in the next episode. I invite you to join the Telegram channel, and if you have any question, please don't hesitate to contact me by email or using my contact in Telegram. See you next time, and ciao.